This QR code just updated the inventory for this item. I built this entire inventory system inside Zite, and it tracks items, adjustments, and transaction history automatically. Let me show you how the system works and how it's structured. I'm Zach from InterDev Solutions. Our channel shows you how to streamline operations with automation and AI. If you need direct help, you can visit our website, interdevsolutions.com. A lot of small and medium-sized businesses still manage inventory with spreadsheets or disconnected systems. That usually leads to problems like inaccurate counts, missing items, slow updates, or no history of what actually changed, or being able to track your inventory in an accurate way. The goal of this system is to make inventory adjustments quick and simple. You can scan an item, adjust the quantity, and the system logs everything automatically. I'll walk you through the actual system first. So this is the main inventory database. We have a list of all of the items or inventory within our system. It has things like SKU, category, quantity, and then over here we have the actual QR code. When I click this icon, it opens up the QR code. And if I scan that with my phone, it loads the item record. And then from there, I can adjust the quantity. Like you saw from the top of the video, it opens up this view. You're able to check out or check in items, adjust the quantity, and even assign it to a specific job if you want. We can go into the transaction history. I'm going to get out of the actual app mode, go into the database, and now this is something that you could also add into your actual UI or interface as well. But if we click into the database here, we can go down to transactions and we can see a history of everything. So it automatically gets logged when you check something in or check something out, and it shows you a timestamp, the quantity, and who the actual active user was that took that action. Now to dive in a little deeper of how this is actually structured, there's really three main components to this side of things. Obviously, there's a lot more that you could add to it, like your suppliers, you could add in purchase orders, you could add in job costs based off items that you've taken out and used on that specific job. But high level here, what we have is an items table. This tracks all of your different items. You can have your SKUs, your quantity, description, everything related to that specific item can exist in this table. And then we have transactions. That's when you scan that QR code or manually input the quantity adjustment up and down. It logs that data right in line here. And there's the inventory adjustment workflow that sits in between those two things. When a QR code is scanned, the system loads the item record, which is these records, into the system, and it allows you to adjust the quantity, whether you're checking in or checking out the item. And then from there, it updates the inventory count and logs the transaction. This gives you a full audit trail of the inventory activity. The way the QR code workflow actually works, if I go back into the app, we have all of our records that's being brought in from that items table. And over here, the system automatically generates that QR code for us. That QR code is based off of this SKU. And then, as I mentioned, that workflow layer, when I scan that QR code, identifies that it's this specific record and loads it into the system. That means anyone with authenticated access to this application can update the inventory without needing to search for items manually. They can just scan that QR code with their phone, again, assuming they have user access. There's a lot of different ways to customize a system like this and make it your own, but one thing here that we can't do on the user interface side, we would have to go back into the database side, but if we wanted to make this available to users with some sort of permission level, we could do that. We could just ask the system to edit or make an update to the system so that we can edit the records in line. Let's add a simple edit option. I will just come over here to the prompt box and I'm just going to ask it, add an edit item button on the items page or the inventory page so that I can adjust the name, the SKU, the category, the quantity, and unit price if I need to. If I select the edit button we just created on one of these records, I have the ability to edit the name or the SKU or change the category. In the name, we've got office chair, and maybe I want to add a model number to it as well. So I'll just type in a random model number. And once I hit save, you can see the update is reflected immediately in the inventory list. And sometimes inventory changes happen without scanning an actual item. Maybe stock was counted manually or items were moved between different locations. You can still handle that in line here. Say we want to change this wireless headphones again, we'll select this and we can just change it manually right within this interface. Maybe in this case, I want to check stock back in. We're going to add 25 items back to it. We'll hit confirm. We can see here that the quantity change was reflected immediately. This keeps the history consistent regardless of how the adjustment was made. As I mentioned, this system can also be expanded depending on what the business needs are. So for example, you could add locations if you had stock that existed across or inventory that existed across multiple locations or warehouses. If you needed to track inventory by bin location or shelf location, you could also add in features and fields for that as well. And then for management, you could also add dashboards to track things like low stock items or inventory usage trends. Because the system is fully customizable, it can evolve with the business. So that's just a quick walkthrough of this QR-based inventory system. We have items stored in a database, QR codes attached to each product, inventory adjustments through scanning or manual updates, and a full transaction history. Systems like this help keep businesses' inventory accurate without relying on spreadsheets or manual tracking. And because it's built in Zite, the entire workflow can be customized depending on the specific business needs. If you're interested in building systems like this, there are a lot of ways you can extend this idea even further. Feel free to reach out to me at innerdevsolutions.com. That's it for this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more in the future.